Good morning, all. Greetings of the day. I hope you are utilizing these holidays in gaining knowledge and living in the safety environment because safety comes first. Myself, I am Bakki Nagajyoti, working as part-time degree lecturer in Telangana Tribal Welfare Degree College for Women in Rajanna Sirsila district for the subject History. Before going to the topic, you should know what is history. Simply, we can say that history is nothing but that is a reconstruction of our past, but in a systematic way by using material evidences like archaeological sources and literal sources. Archaeological sources are nothing but artifacts, inscriptions, and coins, and literal sources are nothing but religious, secular books, newspapers, and foreign books. And the subject history is related with all subjects because each and every subject has its own history. Hence, it is very interesting subject. It also deals with what are the things we have to do and what are the things we should not do. To understand the history of India, we divided our Indian history into ancient period, medieval period, and modern period. Out of these three, the construction of ancient Indian history is a big challenge for the historians because there are several archaeological sources but less literal sources. That's why careful analysis should be done for the construction of ancient Indian history. Now I am going to discuss regarding the science and technology of our ancient India. We know that nature is the source of life and man is an integral part of the nature. This nature is giving several questions to resolve. Day to day, we are also trying to find new solutions with our intelligence. Science and technology need to find solutions for the secrets of the nature that is essential for the development of human beings living on the earth. Our past heritage created a way to the modern scientist in the science and technology. How they contributed, we will see in the further slides. For this explanation, I am using primary sources like monuments and the original works of ancient scientists, and the secondary sources like journals and Wikipedias, etc. India is the hometown of all sciences, and many ancient scientists were remained as the pride of our India. Our greatness stored as the works of our ancient people. The history of science and technology in our India started during prehistoric period. The prehistoric men developed tool-making technology, started domestication of animals and cultivation to fulfill his needs. Along with these changes, invention of fire and wheel turned the lifestyle of hunter-gatherer towards the cultivation. The ancient Indian scientists played an important role in taking our country to different dimensions. The important fields of ancient India were mathematics, medicine, astronomy, metallurgy, physics, chemistry, and architecture. When come to the first one, mathematics. The use of mathematics clearly visible during Indus Valley civilization. The use of geometry was seen in the town planning and seal making of Indus people. We can conclude that the observation of Indus people towards the geometry was excellent. In later stages, geometric patterns clearly visible in the construction of temples, monasteries, and stupas. The technique of algebra. and the concept of the zero originated in India. There are several mathematicians in ancient India contributed their works with intelligence for the development of their future generations. Some of them are Aryabhatta, Bhaskaracharya, Brahmagupta, and Baudhayana. I want to explain their work with details, then you can understand clearly. If we see Aryabhatta, he was the first major mathematician and astronomer. He wrote the book Aryabhattiya, the book of Aryabhatta called as Aryabhattiya. This is further divided into four volumes. The first volume describes the usage of decimal system, and the second volume describes geometry, trigonometry, and Bijaganit. Third and fourth volumes explain about astronomy. We can understand that his work not only limited to mathematics but also to astronomy. Considering the contribution of Aryabhatta in the field of astronomy, India launched a satellite with his name Aryabhatta on 19th March 1975. The other mathematician after Aryabhatta, that is Bhaskaracharya. He was leading mathematician during 12th century AD. Here AD is nothing but after the death of Christ. He wrote the work Siddhanta Shiromani. Siddhanta Shiromani was the work of Bhaskaracharya. This book contains four sections. This book also divided into four sections. They are Leelavati, Bijaganit, Gholadhyay, Grahaganita. The first one is Leelavati. Leelavati deals with arithmetic. And the second one is Bijaganit that deals with algebra. The third one is Gholadhyay. Here, Gola is nothing but phase, Adhyaya means study. This is nothing but the study of phase. The fourth and the last one is Graha Ganita. Here, Graha means planet, Ganita means mathematics. Hence, it deals with the mathematics of planets. He also proposed Chakravarti method or cyclic method to solve equations of algebra. The other person after Bhaskaracharya, that is Brahmagupta. Brahmagupta belongs to 7th century AD. He wrote the work called Brahmasputa Siddhantika. The work of Brahmagupta is called as Brahmasputa Siddhantika. The major contribution of him is the invention of zero. He invented zero for the first time. He was the first person who talked about numbers. He also explained about negative and positive numbers. He used negative numbers for debts and positive numbers as fortune. He also described method of finding lowest common multiple, that is nothing but LCM in mathematics. The another person after Brahmagupta, that is Baudhayana. Baudhayana was another important mathematician in ancient period. He belongs to 6th century BC. BC is nothing but before Christ. He wrote Sulva Sutra. He mentioned pi and some concepts similar to Pythagoras theory in his work Sulva Sutra. In mathematics, pi is generally used to calculate the area and circumference of the circle. The above mentioned mathematicians gave valuable contributions towards the development of mathematics. Along with mathematics, another important field in ancient India is medicine. We can't imagine today's life without medicine. This field traces back to Vedic period. According to Vedic scriptures, it is considered that Dhanvantari was the god of medicine. According to Vedas, Ashwini Kumars or a twin brothers were the practitioners of medicine during Vedic age. In ancient times, subject medicine contains medicine and surgery as parts. In ancient period, medicine is further contains two parts, that is medicine and surgery. Now we are going to discuss regarding two important persons who contributed their works towards the development of medicine. Without them or without their works, medicine won't be fulfilled. They are Charaka and Sushruta. When come to Charaka, he was considered as father of medicine. The work written by Charaka is called as Charaka Samhita. Charaka wrote Charaka Samhita. This is very valuable work and is giving information regarding Ayurveda. It describes the use of plants and several herbs. Charaka Samhita contains 8 components. The important things out of these 8 components are general medicine, pediatrics, that is the medicinal subject for children, surgery and toxicology, etc. Charaka had the knowledge of digestion, metabolism and immune system of human body. He described careful analysis of human body in his work Charaka Samhita. He proposed that prevention is better than cure in his work. These words are perfectly suitable for today's pandemic situation, right? According to him, Vata, Pitta, Kapha are three doshas which are responsible for healthier life. And another important discovery of him is disabilities of fetus happen because of the faulty development of fetus but not because of the parents. Later, the observations in genetics in this area are developed by his observations only. This is really a good identification in the field of genetics. According to him, human body is having 360 bones. He included tooth also in bones category. That's why he mentioned that human body is having 360 bones. The next one, that is Sushruta. He belongs to 6th century BC. That is nothing but before Christ. His main contributions are towards the development of surgery. Hence, he was called as the father of Indian surgery. To do surgery, even in the ancient period to this modern period, anesthesia is must. Hence, he used anesthetic herbs during ancient period before going to do the surgery. That's why he also called as father of anesthesia. He wrote the work called as Sushruta Samhita. The book of Sushruta was called as Sushruta Samhita. The book which deals with the practical problems of surgery and obstetrics. This work mainly describes rhinoplasty, which is nothing but plastic surgery, particularly for the nose. The next one, ophthalmology, which deals with the ejection of cataract, that is related to eye, and fixing of bones. His work is giving reference to caesareans also. In his work Sushruta Samhita, he mentioned the term surgery with Shastra Karma. Various kinds of instruments used in the surgery were mentioned in Sushruta Samhita. Present day surgeons are also using some of them mentioned in his book. In the medieval period, this work Sushruta Samhita translated into Arabic with names Kitab Sahman-e-Hindi, Kitab-e-Susurut. These two were translations of Sushruta Samhita in medieval period. He mentioned the list of microorganisms which were harmful to our body. Without having microscope during ancient period, identification of microorganisms is really a big task of intelligence. Charaka and Sushruta contributed extraordinary work towards the development of medicine and surgery in ancient period, which were created a way for our present day doctors. With the inscriptions of Ashoka, we came to know that free hospitals were established during Mauryans. Medicinal development in ancient India is not only limited to human beings but also for animals. There are two important words in the field of medicine for animals. They are Hasta Ayurveda and Ashwa Ayurveda. The first one, Hasta Ayurveda, that is a medicinal work for elephants. And the second one, Ashwa Ayurveda, here Ashwa is nothing but horse. Hence, this is a medicinal work for horses. These two animals are important in the warfare along with the transportation. That's why this is essential to treat the diseases of horses and elephants in ancient times. The other categories are physics and chemistry. When come to the physics, in ancient India, Panchabhutas are five basic elements. They are essential for this physical world. According to ancient scientists, materials on this earth were made with these five elements only. These Panchabhutas are identified with human senses of perception. Panchabhutas are, the first one is earth or Prithvi. It can be identified with smell. When it rains, we can feel the smell of soil, right? Then it can be identified with smell. The second one is fire or Agni. It can be identified with vision. By seeing, we can say that is fire. The third one is air or Maya. With feeling, we can identify the air. In summer, it is very difficult. If power is not there, we miss the air of fan or cooler. That's why we will sit under the tree to feel the cool air, right? Hence, it is identified with touch or feel. The fourth one is water or apa. It can be identified with taste. Water can be identified with taste. The last and the fifth one is ether or akasha. It can be identified with sound. But according to the scriptures of Buddhism, ether was replaced with life, joy and sorrow. They don't believe presence of ether or akasha. These five basic elements are formed with five different types of paramanu. That's why the different characteristics are formed. The important ancient scientist in the field of physics is Kannad, Acharya Kannad. His original name was Kashyap. He was the scientist of ancient Indian atomic theory. That is nothing but theory of atoms. According to him, matter is divided into molecules, molecules split and forms atoms. Examples, based on the different characteristics of atoms, various substances of this nature are formed. Example, water or fire, etc. We can touch the water, but we can't touch the fire. They are having this theory of they are having different characteristics because they formed with different atoms. This theory of atoms he described in his work Vaisheshika Darshan. The work of Kannad is called as Vaisheshika Darshana. This is one of Darshana in Shed Darshanas of Indian philosophy. He proposed that an atom is indivisible, invisible, unchanged and undestroyable. But heat can change the characteristics of atom. That means we can't see the atom, we can't divide it, we can't change it, we can't destroy the atom. But we can change the character of atom by heating. This theory is very important in physical sciences. Final conclusion here is the knowledge of atomic science mostly used for the development of human beings but not for the destruction. When come to the field of chemistry. In ancient India, the areas of applications of chemistry were metallurgy, distillation of perfumes, making of dyes and pigments, extraction of sugars, production of paper, etc. In India, chemistry was called as Rasayan Shastra, Rasatantra, Rasavidya, Rasayana Vidya, and Rasakriya. These are the other terms of ancient Indian chemistry. The chemical laboratories were called as Rasakriya Shala. The chemical laboratories, according to the ancient terminology, called as Rasakriya Shala. Chemists were called as Rasadhanya. The important ancient Indian scientist in the field of chemistry was Acharya Nagarjuna. Acharya Nagarjuna was a famous Buddhist monk, and Nagarjunakonda of Telangana got the name with his memory. He was born in Gujarat. He introduced the purification of metals, particularly mercury, and he discussed the transmutation of base metals into gold. He tried to produce gold from base metals. Even though that is failed, his experiments are very valuable in the field of chemistry. His observations were mentioned in his book Rasaratnakara and Rasayan Tantra. He wrote the book, that is Rasaratnakara, along with the other work Rasayana Tantra. He also wrote Uttara Tantra. It is supplement to Sushruta Samhita and deals with preparation of medicinal drugs. He gave valuable contributions in the field of chemistry. The other field in chemistry is metallurgy. The development of metallurgy started in India. Use of metal started from Chalcolithic period. The copper was the first metal used by the Chalcolithic people. Zinc metallurgy traveled from India to China, later migrated to Europe also. The best example for the metallurgy in India is Iron Pillar of New Delhi. This iron pillar was constructed by Chandragupta II of Gupta dynasty. The importance of this pillar is rust resistance composition of metals used for this construction. This is the picture of rust resistant iron pillar. Now it is located in the Qutub Minar complex of New Delhi. This is the unique example for the metallurgy development of ancient period. Along with this, the image making technology with metal started from the Chalcolithic period. Later, bronze was a prominent metal used during the Indus Valley civilization. Best example of Indus civilization is bronze dancing girl image that was found at Mohenjo-daro. The lost wax technique used to make this image. We will learn the lost wax technique of ancient period. Initially, to create an image with the lost wax technique, first wax image should be prepared. Later, it was coated with clay several times by leaving two openings at upper and lower side. Later, it is heated. Because of the heat, entire wax melted come out from the lower opening. Here we We are losing the wax, that's why it is called as a lost wax technique. Then, by which metal we want to prepare the image, that metal should be melted in a crucible and poured in the clay mound from the upper opening. Later, it cooled and removed the clay material. The inner metal image mm, in, should be cleaned properly and image made perfectly by the image maker. Even today, our modern artists also using this technique to make images. After the metallurgy, the another important fields are astronomy and astrology. Today, science is well developed. We are known the information of planets and stars with satellites and telescopes. But in ancient period, without having telescopes, observatories, rockets, they told the movement of planets and eclipses. The important astronomers in ancient India were Varahamihira, Bhaskaracharya and Aryabhatta. Already we learned regarding Aryabhatta. Here, astrology is nothing but Jyotish Shastra, astronomy is nothing but Khagola Shastra. When come to the Varahamihira, Varahamihira was considered as the father of Indian astrology. His original name was Mihira. Later, he was called as Varahamihira by Chandragupta Vikramaditya of Gupta dynasty. He was one of the 9 gems in Chandragupta Vikramaditya's court. His works are Panchasiddhantika, Brihad Samhita and Brihad Jataka. The books written by Varahamihira are Panchasiddhantika, Brihad Samhita and Brihad Jataka. He studied the lunar and solar eclipses scientifically and gave the scientific explanation also. Due to the shadow of moon, solar eclipse will appear. If we if we observe this slide here, the moon was placed in between the sun and earth. Due to the shadow of moon, solar eclipse appear. The solar eclipse is nothing but Surya Grahan. And due to the shadow of the earth, in this picture it is clear that due to the shadow of the earth, lunar eclipse will happen. That means in between the sun and the moon, earth was placed. Due to that, we are unable to see the moon. That's why lunar eclipse will form. That is nothing but Chandragrahan. These were happened because of the movement of planets, but not because of the Rahu or Ketu. He also gave reference to identification of water resources and earthquakes. After Varahamihira, the another important person, that is Bhaskaracharya. He was the another pioneer of astronomy. His contributions for mathematics already we learned. Along with that, Karna Kutuhala, that is nothing but calculation of astronomical wonders. He wrote on his astronomical observations of planetary positions, conjunctions, eclipses, cosmography, geography, and the mathematical techniques and astronomical equipment used in these studies. He also pointed that the objects fall on the earth due to the force of attraction by the earth, which was nowadays called as gravity. This was told 500 years before Sir Isaac Newton. The gravitational force initially explained by Bhaskaracharya before 500 years before the Sir Isaac Newton. That is the great contribution of Bhaskaracharya. When come to the next slide, our heritage repositories, nothing but learning centers. Our heritage repositories are universities. The most important universities of ancient India were Taxila or Takshashila University. The students from different countries like Babylonia, Greece, Syria, Arabia, China came here for education in ancient period. Kautilya or Vishnugupta or Chanakya. Vishnugupta was the original name. He also called as Kautilya or Chanakya was considered as the professor of Taxila University or Takshashila University. He wrote the famous work on polity, that is Ardhashastra. The another important universities of ancient period were Nalanda University, Ujjain and Varanasi were another important learning centers of ancient India. Nalanda University was important learning center constructed during Gupta period. Finally, the conclusion. Not only in the above mentioned aspects, the greatness of our ancient India remained as in the art and architecture, shipbuilding, agriculture, and textiles, etc. This is the picture of ship marked coin of Shatavahanas. By this, we can understand the development of shipbuilding activity during Shatavahanas. Our ancient scientists removed the darkness of ignorance with scientific analysis. When come to the revision part, if we revise the topic once, the important scientists of ancient India were Aryabhatta. The work of Aryabhatta is Aryabhatiya, mainly deals with mathematics and astronomy. And the another one is Bhaskaracharya. His book is Siddhanta Shiromani, deals with mathematics, and another one is Karna Kutuhala that deals with astronomy and astrology. Another scientist, Brahmagupta. His work Brahmasputa Siddhantika deals with mathematics. The another one is Bhaudayana. He wrote Sulva Sutras which were regarding mathematics. In the field of medicine, Charaka wrote Charaka Samhita, which mainly describes medicine. Sushruta wrote Sushruta Samhita, which was valuable work on surgery. When come to the physics, Kannada wrote Vaisheshika Darshana. His contributions are towards the development of physics. The next person, Acharya Nagarjuna, he wrote Rasaratnakara, Rasayana Tantra and Uttara Tantra, which were valuable works on chemistry. Finally, Varahamihira, he wrote Panchasiddhantika, Brihad Samhita and Brihad Jataka. He worked for the development of astronomy and astrology. This is regarding the development of science and technology of our ancient India. Thank you.